Hey, I'm going to upload the Jazzy scooter video. I do not have the parts I need because, wrong. I'll tell you why. They involved the post office with my parts. And, if I ever see them, it's going to be several more days. God, I hate the post office. It's like, UPS and FedEx are, the modern technology and fast shipping. I mean, I've ordered stuff on Saturday and got it Monday. It's just the difference is night and day between them and the post office. And the second the post office gets a hold of your package, number one, the potential for damage is increased 10 times. Number two, if you actually see your package, it's going to be far longer than any of the other delivery companies would deliver it. And then if you've ever gone into a post office, anyway, forget it. I got nothing good to say about the post office. I've had a hate relationship with the post office for many years now, starting with the nut job that used to deliver my mail that had a problem with me parking my truck in front of my house, because that meant he had to pull in my driveway and back up. And this guy did some really crappy things to me over the years just because he hated the fact that I parked my truck in front of my house, my 18-wheeler. Anyway, I have good news concerning Rada Cutlery and my affiliate link, which I'm going to do a separate video about that. So I'm uploading this Jazzy scooter video, and when I actually fix it and get it running, I'll do another video about that. All right. My friend Rob, his channel is Just Plain Common Sense, drove all the way over here from South Bossier to help me get this off my truck. Now, granted, my wife almost shot him. That's a funny story. Rob's an early riser, and most of the time I am too. But lately I've been sleeping later. So my wife comes in and wakes me up this morning. She says, "There's somebody in the driveway, and they're just parked there." So it takes me about 10 minutes for me to be able to see straight. So I get up, I get some clothes on, go to the kitchen sink, I put some water in my eyes, and so I walk out there, and I'm about halfway down the driveway because it's still dark out and I still don't know who it is. And I recognize him. And my wife was in there with the pistol. I mean, it's a shame you have to not live in fear, but you have to be cautious when you don't know who's in your driveway. Anyway, it was my friend Rob. Just Plain Common Sense. Drove all the way over here to help me get this off of my truck. And thanks, Rob. So anyway, I got the seat off, and I got the batteries out. Now, we are fixing to see what this thing says about the batteries. So let's see. Well, is it saying 90% charged? So if it is saying 90% charged, they might be good batteries. Let me show you what I found. There's a hole here. And last night I figured out what goes in that hole. It's a breaker. And these wires connect to that breaker. So maybe it had a bad breaker, and this thing was never, the batteries were never depleted or never used. So I found a place online. I can get a breaker for like $15. And yeah, 97% charged. Heck yeah. Man, I might be making out on this deal here. That's good. I know it's probably hard to see that because I got my LED light on above it. 97% charged. That's cool. I'll check that other battery. All right. I'm going to let this set a minute. I'm going to go in and have my next cup of coffee. Update? What's update?
Parkinson's.
Oh, Parkinson's. Okay, she has this.
Self-diagnosed
That's Dr. Google
That
telling
would be,
us.
that would be after me Googleizing all night. The Googlarian
Yeah.
says I have Parkinson's.
Okay, she consulted Dr. Google, and Dr. Google says she has Parkinson's. We're going to get it figured out. Okay, next cup of coffee. We'll be back. I'll check this battery next. All right, it is 100%. So, so this was at 84%. So, man, that's good news. So these batteries do have a charge after probably a couple of years not being used. So I think my whole problem is that breaker missing. So I called around Shreveport and Bossier, and nobody, they all sell these things, but nobody carries parts. We'll have to order it. Well, shoot, I can order it. So I'm going to do that. And this thing is missing the blue plastic shroud that goes over the batteries. And I can do one of two things. I found a spare part, and it's $70 for the black, why do I want to say black? It's blue plastic that goes over the batteries, and it's $70. Or I can spend $90 and buy all new plastic, and it's red. So my friend Darren suggested I grind off the serial numbers and change the license plates on this just in case it's hot. And if I do buy that the red plastic kit, it would be nice. It was all brand new, shiny. So I'm gonna go in there and look at the computer, and I see it's already up to 97. So yeah, that's good news. The batteries are about $150 for the pair, and it's also good to know that they're 12 volts. So if I do have trouble with the charger, I can just charge them up with this. So all right, let me go inside and order that part and see how long it's going to take to get it to me. If it's too long, I have Bev's lawnmower quit working, and I gotta get it in here and figure out why. I was gonna fix this first and get it out of the way, and then get her lawnmower in here. But if it's gonna take too long for that breaker, then I may have to push this to the side and get the lawnmower in here. We'll see. Let me go in and order that part. All right, I just ordered the blue plastic shroud and the breaker, and I just sneezed. Whew. Actually, I didn't sneeze. It was an internal sneeze, and I think I blew earwax out of my ears. I held it in so hard. Whew. Okay. So, let me see if they're going to tell me how long it's going to take to get it. I'll go find out. But anyway, when I get these parts in, I'll continue the video. In the meantime, for your listening pleasure, I'm going to sing. Okay, I'm joking. All right, I got the batteries back in there. They're holding I let them sit all day, and then I put the charger back on them to see if they had leaked down any. And they're still holding their charge. So now, I'm going to, my wife's taller than the average woman. So I'm going to move this up one notch for her. And put the seat back on. And then it's good to go till I get my breaker and the plastic shroud that goes across the top here. It fits in these slots here. And it sticks to these Velcro tabs, and it covers this up back here. So I believe we're going to be okay. I don't know how long it's going to take to get those parts, but the parts were $90. So 150 into this, 240 total. Not bad. All right, I'm gonna put this all back together. All right, this time I mean it. My wife just sat on it, and I adjusted the arms height back here and angle. I adjusted out how far that control is. So now, really, all I'm waiting on now is the breaker and the shroud that covers the back there. That's pretty cool. It is definitely, and when you get older, you tend to realize this, that it is the small things that really enhance your life, that really make your life worth living. Over here, we got the morning sun coming up through the trees. We got a mild, comfortable breeze. And over here, it's dark and cloudy, like thunderstorm kind of cloudy.
Look over there by the pine trees on the road. That's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning, even though it might rain at any minute.
Yeah, it's windy.
And then we got a dog playing and dogs laying and happy dogs. Little things like this that just make inhaling worth doing. Good morning. That's with my Kroger reward points. We don't usually come to Kroger's, but I come across their homeless pie section, and they're very proud of their homeless pies. Sorry, pies. Maybe somebody who's wealthier than me can come give you a home, but that's way too much money for a homeless pie. Okay, my wife, we just noticed something funny, and my wife's gonna explain to you about her hands. Go ahead.
Okay. There's my left hand, and I didn't drive a truck. I didn't drive with my left hand. I drove with my right hand. And how I drove was this finger on one side of this, and then these two fingers. Well, that's how I wrapped my hand around. And I can't even make those fingers stay like that. After 20 years, my hand grew like that. And they did this. They turned out from here doing the steering wheel. But that's after 20 years. And I was looking at my hand the other day, and I thought, okay, what the heck happened to my hand? And then I remembered that's how I drove a truck.
Okay. And I drove, counting the Army, I drove 38 years, and I would hold the steering wheel with my left and rest my right hand on the stick shift. And this is my left. So the way I used to do it was I would wrap these three fingers around the center rung, and then my pinky finger would be around the outer circle of the steering wheel. And that's how my hand has grown. 38 years of doing the same thing with your hand. And that's just kind of funny how your job can form your body to it.
Well, your other hand did it too.
Yeah, I did it with both hands, but mostly with my left, because I usually rested my right hand on the stick shift, especially if we were in traffic, like L.A. or New York City or Chicago or Atlanta. Okay.